Hey everyone, it's Bob Crossan. I'm the editorial director for the Endeavor Business Media Water Group, as well as the editor-in-chief of Wastewater Digest. I'm joined today by Susannah Kerr, People and Places Solutions Senior Vice President and General Manager for Federal and Environmental Solutions at Jacbos, as well as Huck Raddemann, Sediment Remediation Specialist at Jacbos. So thank you both for being here. I appreciate you both taking the time.
Our pleasure.
Pleasure to be here, Bob.
Yeah, so recently we saw this press release about Jacbos and a $450 million contract with the EPA for environmental cleanup and restoration, particularly in the Great Lakes. How is this important to Jacbos' overall company mission, first and foremost, and what is the history that you have with these types of efforts?
So we actually have a lot of efforts here. We've worked with the Environmental Protection Agency for more than 40 years on Superfund sites nationally. And specifically, we have almost 15 years of work partnering with them in the Great Lakes region. So this contract is actually very much aligned to our company's purpose of providing a smarter, more connected, sustainable world. And in fact, our strategy is centered around 3 accelerators. Among one of them is climate response. This contract is also aligned to our Plan Beyond Sustainability approach, which is all about planning beyond today and for a sustainable future for everyone, meaning social and economic progress while protecting our environment and improving resiliency. The challenges that are brought on by climate change these days, including water scarcity and the impact and loss of biodiversity, this Great Lakes program specifically provides an opportunity to improve the environment that will also give multiple long-term net benefits for the communities. Huck, if I may hand it over to you, you have a long history working on this program. Maybe you can share some specifics about this contract.
Yeah, thanks, Suzanne. So we've been involved, like was mentioned, for quite a long time, assisting EPA Glenpoe with their mission of restoring the Great Lakes and the associated tributaries. We've been involved in the prior 2 contracts, prior to the SF Glaze contracts, doing work in the Great Lakes for over 15 years. And, with this SF Glaze contract, there's now a refocused effort to continue the great work that's already been done and clean up and restore in support of EPA's ambitious goal of cleaning up and restoring the additional 22 remaining areas of concern that are scattered around the Great Lakes. Jacobs' team has worked within each of these areas of concern across the Great Lakes. We have a broad breadth of knowledge going into these projects. And primarily we provide, environmental, technical, and management services associated with the infrastructure tasks in the Great Lakes, and specifically getting into sediment evaluations, remedial investigations, supporting feasibility studies, remedial design, basically the whole life cycle of a project from cradle to grave, which creates a really exciting opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I wanted to point to, this is a lot of money specifically for Great Lakes. What makes these particular water sources different from others across the country when it comes to the cleanup and those remediation efforts that you work on?
Well, the Great Lakes in general, what many folks may not realize, it's the largest group of freshwater lakes on Earth by total area, and the second largest by total volume, containing 21% of the world's surface freshwater by volume. So it really is a unique program and opportunity to work on. These lakes provide drinking water for close to 35 million people. It's an area for world-class recreation, and also provides over 1.5 million jobs. And then additionally, this program is also supported under the bipartisan infrastructure law as part of the current administration's infrastructure spending bill, which means that this program in particular is going to be accelerated and streamlined, and will have a really wide range of support from all parties. So that's kind of the big picture context. Again, Huck, if you may maybe weigh into kind of the technical uniqueness that this program brings.
Yeah, absolutely. So the technical uniqueness of this contract is its focus on contaminated sediments. This serves as an initial step to restoration of the waterway, and really serves as the ground level or foundation for the betterment of the waterway and the water as a resource. There's a long history of legacy contaminants associated with previous industrial use, such as heavy metals, such as mercury, chromium, PCBs, and petroleum byproducts that have continually just degraded the quality of the Great Lakes and its tributaries, thereby minimizing all the potential uses and optimization of use of the Great Lakes, both from the residents and industry. So EPA Glencoe's mission really is in removing the beneficial use impairments and listing these areas of concern. As I mentioned before, there's 22 out of 25 AOCs that remain, or areas of concern that remain. And what an AOC is it's a location designated by the EPA that has experienced significant environmental degradation. And EPA and the other federal, state, and local agencies, as well as other stakeholders, have the best interest of addressing these areas of concern in the Great Lakes Basin. There are numerous beneficial use impairments that have been identified. And what these beneficial use impairments are is the root causes of the chemical, physical, and biological integrity, or the degradation thereof of the integrity of the Great Lakes system, which has caused this environmental degradation. There's numerous challenges involved in this kind of work. The remediation work is usually within highly urbanized areas and areas of high use for recreation. These are active waterways in the middle of the urbanized areas. In-water construction work is always very complicated. You obviously can't see what you're getting into. And you can imagine the level of infrastructure that has been developed around these waterways and the historical uses in the way of bridges, utilities, developed shorelines, which makes for very complex and dynamic work that needs to be performed.
Yeah.
So those are just some of the ways that, this gets complicated quickly. I guess I should further mention too that, the coordination needed between the numerous stakeholders, the various levels of government involved, as well as the communities and local stakeholders, is really important and essential to the delivery and to the delivery of these projects.
Yeah. Well, as someone who lives in Chicagoland, we certainly appreciate that you guys are working on these, because that Lake Michigan waterfront is such a huge component of the draw for the city, and as well as like a recreation point for everyone, as you mentioned. Could you speak to some of the goals that for Jacobs here, from a One Water perspective, how this impacts more than just one vertical in the market? We always think about things as drinking water, wastewater, stormwater, but at the end of the day, all water is connected. So how do you guys approach it from that thought model as well?
Yeah, so we approach it kind of at two levels. One is just what Huck was referring to, the intersection of the water system with other forms of infrastructure, the health, the environment. So other broader market areas is really where there's connectivity. When you look specifically at what we call the One Water approach, it's really about developing integrated solutions to provide a comprehensive benefits. So our philosophy around One Water has three core tenets. One of it is all water has value. We consider it holistically, the challenge of each watershed, the community, where it is in the phase. We also know that water challenges are interconnected, both amongst itself, between kind of the supply and wastewater, but also connecting to the land and the food and energy that it can impact. And then any water solution really needs to be sustainable, has to be inclusive and equitable. And so we really focus on the inclusive planning and prioritize solutions that benefit people, the environment, and the economy. I do know, I think a little while ago, you met with one of our colleagues, Jennifer Baldwin, and she shared some of the technology that we use for water. I know she highlighted the Intelligent O&M partnership that we have with Palantir. But another tool that is really exciting is what's called Aqua DNA, which is really a game-changing digital product that collects live data using smart sensors and then AI-powered predictive analytics to really reduce risk and make a positive societal and environmental impact. So again, these are ways that we bring both technology and innovation into our approach to water, again, to really look at more of the holistic impact of what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, thank you both so much for that. And yeah, talking with Jen was fantastic. I'll make sure that we link that in our video description so everyone can check out that as well. But once again, thank you both for being here and talking with us about this subject and about these remediation efforts. I think it's really a really strong message to send to the grander water industry, but also communities at large. So thank you both for being here.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
And once more, you can check out our video description below. We'll have a link to that interview with Jen Baldwin, as well as some other resources so you can learn more about this program and what Jacobs has on offer. Thanks again, guys.